Assalamu alaikum. So today we'll see how to solve some types of equation. شفنا in previous sections linear equation degree 1 or quadratic equation degree 2. Other types of equation which can be solved will be seen in this video. So we are interested in different types of equations: literal equation, polynomial with high degree 3 or 4, rational equations, equations involving radicals, and equations involving rational exponents. So let's start. What do we call a literal equation? A literal equation has several variables. So here, for example, we have the variable a and the variable r. So we have one equation with two or more variables. In this case, so we see this in different formula in physics, in in different sciences. Okay. And the aim is to express one of the variable in terms of the others. So this is an example. So this is an equation involving the variable p, the variable l, and the variable w. So we have three variables. Here p is expressed in terms of l and w. شو المطلوب؟ المطلوب إنه we isolate w. So solve for w means isolate the variable w in this equation and collect p and l in the other side. This is the idea how to isolate the variable w, okay, which we are interested in. So the idea is easy. So here, an easy example. We want to isolate w. We have a sum. So we just subtract 2l from both sides. We got p minus 2l. 2l minus 2l is 0. 2w. And then divide by 2 both sides. So w is p minus 2l over 2. We say that we have solved this equation for w. This is the idea, really easy. Repeat, isolate w, and we got the solution. Same here. Here we have two variables, a and d, and we want to solve for d. So isolate d, get a formula for d. Okay, so we write our equation and we try to isolate d. So here we have division by 4, so we multiply by 4 to remove 4. We divide by pi to remove pi on both sides. We get d square equals 4 over pi a. And using the square root property, taking the square root, we got d is plus or minus root 4a over pi. You can keep it like this, or you can simplify to we multiply by root of pi up and down. We get root a pi over pi. This is the solution, d equal to root pi a over pi. This is a solution of our equation. Another example. So here we have again several variables, a, t, and b and c. But we are interested in t. So what are the terms containing t? This term contains t, and this term contain t. We collect them together. So at, we move this term to the other side, equals, and collect all terms that don't contain t in the other side. So b moves to the other side, and we have to. Then here, at minus ct, we can put t as common factor, a minus c, b plus 2, and finally, t is b plus 2 over a minus c, and we are done. We isolated t. There's only one t alone isolated in one side to say that we are done. The second family of equations of interest in this section is polynomial equation with higher degree, with degree 3 or higher. بالنسبة للdegree 1 or degree 2, any equation of degree 1 or degree 2 can be solved. We know how to solve it. To be more precise, we know how to solve. We have a formula for the solution of the equation of degree 2. For higher order, we don't have a formula. So sometimes we know how to solve it, and most of the time we don't know. But in the special cases where we know how to solve it, we'll see that we can manage this type of equation. Okay, using two methods, by factoring or by change of variables. So let's see an example. We want to solve this equation. It's an equation of degree 4. Degree 4. So we collect all terms in the same side. 0. We try to factor. So first factor the coefficients. 3 and 48, so 3 is a common factor. And factor the power of x, x4 and x square. So x square is a common factor. شيبقى 3 طلعت x4 عندنا 4 طلعوا 2 يبقى 2 minus 48 هي 16 times 3 طلعت تبقى 16 x square طلعت. And we use the rule that if the product is 0 means one of the terms is 0. So we get x square 0. We can also write 3 is 0, or so this is impossible. X square is 0, or x square minus 16 is 0. This gives me x equals 0. And this gives me x squared equals 16. So x is plus or minus, don't forget this, plus or minus root 16. So the solution set of this equation is, we have 3 solutions, minus 4, 0, and 4. So this is a way how to solve a polynomial equation of a higher degree. Be careful, in this equation, don't divide by the variable. Don't simplify, okay? If here at all I divide by x squared, you will miss some of the solution. So this is the wrong solution. Don't do this. Just collect and factor. Do not divide by the variable x in solving equation. Okay, so this is the solution, and we have 3 solutions. Another equation, x cubed plus x squared minus x equals 0. So here also we try to factor So here x is a common factor. يبقى x cubed that in x squared plus x squared x minus 2x minus 2 equals 0. So which gives x equals 0 or x squared plus x minus 2 equals 0. We factor again this polynomial. So it's x plus 2 x minus 1 equals 0. And we get the solution set 1 minus 2, 0, and 1 for this equation. Okay, so this is using factoring. Another example. So here we notice that we have only even powers of x. So x4 can be written as x squared all squared, property of powers, minus x squared plus 8 equals 0. So we make what we call a change of variables. Change of variables, which means that we introduce a new variable اللي ما كانت موجودة y مثلا ولازم different symbol حتى ما تتلخبط. إذا عندنا x ناخذ y، عندنا y ناخذ z and so on. So we call y equals x squared and we replace it in the equation. كل ما عندنا x squared we replace it by y. تعطينا هنا عندي x squared تصير y square minus 8y plus 8 equals 0 and we get an equation of degree 2 in y اللي المفروض I know how to solve it. So to solve this quadratic equation, can I factor? I don't think so. So we use the quadratic formula y equals minus b plus minus root b square minus 4ac over 2a. b is minus 8, so 8 plus minus 8 square 64 minus 4 times 1 times 8 over 2. We calculate this, we obtain root 32 over 2. Root 32 is 16 times 2, so it's 4 root 2 over 2, and we can finally simplify 4 plus minus 2 root 2. We are not done still, because this is y. Y equals 4 plus minus 2 root 2. But we are asked to solve the equation with variable x. So we need to calculate the value of x. And then once we find y, لازم نرجع back to x. So y is x squared. And then نرجع x squared is 4 plus minus 2 root 2. So x is plus or minus root of 4 plus minus 2 root 2. And we have 4 solutions here. All combination, تاخد plus و plus, تاخد plus و minus, minus و plus, minus و minus. يعطيك 4 solution of this equation using change of variable. Of course, هنا المشكلة إنه the solution of the quadratic equation is a bit complicated. فيها radicals, لكن هذه هي الفكرة. Again, إذا هنا عوض بيو. المهم any other symbol or letter different than x حتى ما نتلخبط. Then he used also the quadratic formula. He calculated u and then he solved for x the square root property تعطيه plus or minus the root of this real number, and we get 4 solution as I said. The third type, rational type equations. Then هنا عندنا rational fractions in the equation and a variable in the denominator. Okay, so the method is to convert these quantities using LCD, and we'll see we have a new concept of extraneous solutions here, which must be excluded. So let's see an example, it will be clear. So here we have fractions. So our first step is to combine the difference of fraction into a single fraction. So what is the common denominator is 3 times x minus 1. So here we multiply and divide by x minus 1, and here we multiply and divide by 3. We get, so we expand x times x, 3x squared, x minus 3x plus 1. This is the first. The second is 6x over 3x minus 1. Here, no need to expand. Equals x. Okay, so we combine into a single fraction. 3x squared minus x minus 3x minus 4x plus 1 minus 6x over 3 times x minus 1 equal x, and then we multiply by 3 and by x minus 1, the both sides of the equation. Then هنا خلاص تخلصنا من denominator, and then we simplify what we obtain. 3x squared minus 4x minus 6x minus 10x plus 1, and the other side 3x times x, 3x squared, 3x times minus 1 minus 3x. We obtain a quadratic equation to solve. جيبوهم كل same side. تعطيني 3x squared minus 10x plus 1 minus 3x squared plus 3x equals 0. Then we simplify. هذا تروح minus 7x plus 1 equals 0. So x equals 1 over 7. So we have one candidate, but we are not done. We must here check the solution. So check the solution obtained. It's still a candidate. It's not the solution of our system. So how to check the solution? You just check that this value of x doesn't make the denominator equal to 0. So when the denominator is 0, here it's a constant 3, here it's x minus 1, so we must have x different from 1. So these are two conditions. So هنا we are lucky. The obtained value is not 1, so it's okay. So the solution set is 1 over 7. Okay, so we accept this solution, and this is our solution set. I repeat step by step. So first step, combine into a single fraction by multiplying by the LCD. Okay, so here multiplying by the LCD for the first 3 تروح مع 3 and تبقى لي x minus 1 times 3x minus 1. في الثانية we simplify by x minus 1 هي تبقى لي minus 3 times 2x equals 3x minus 1 times x. Okay, and then I expand and I simplify what I obtain. So this I expand here 3x squared minus x minus 3x من هنا جت minus 4x minus 1 في minus 1 هي 1 and so on. نكتبها standard form. We check whether it makes the denominator 0. No, because here the only problem when x is 1, so we have to exclude 1. So no extraneous solution. This is our solution. Another example. So here the denominators are x minus 3 and 1. So the LCD of the denominators, least common denominator is x minus 3. So I multiply the whole equation by x minus 3, all terms, equal x minus 3, 3 over x minus 3 plus x minus 3 times 3. So all terms, then هنا x minus 3 في الفirst term, x minus 3 first second term, و x minus 3 for third term. Okay, here we can simplify كاتينا x, here we can simplify كاتينا 3, here we develop 3x minus 9. I obtain a linear equation. So I collect x's in the same side, constant in the other side. So minus 2x equal minus 6. So x equal 3. Are we done? No. Be careful. In this type of equation, just check whether it's an extraneous solution or not. كيف نعرف؟ بالdomain of our equation. So we have here division by x minus 3. X must be different from 3. So this is called extraneous solution. So what is this solution set? It's an empty set. Exclude this solution. So let's see again the solution step by step. So first step, recognize the LCD, here x minus 3, multiply the whole equation by x minus 3, both sides, all terms. Don't forget, even the 3 also must be multiplied, this term and this term, okay? Then simplify. You get, so this is not a solution yet, it's a candidate, okay? وظيفة متقدم أرسل السي في بتاعه حتى نتأكد من مؤهلاته. So we check in the original equation here. We have x minus 3 in the denominator. If we replace by 3, we'll have 0 in the denominator. And we know that no division by 0 is allowed. So it's an extraneous solution. And نرفضها. Okay. And unfortunately, or for we have no solution for this equation. Let's see another example. So here, what is the LCD? So this term, we factor all denominators, x squared minus 1, here x minus 1 be x plus 1. So the least common denominator here x minus 1 appears here and appears here with degree 1. So we take it. X plus 1 appears here and appears here with degree 1. So we take it. And we multiply all terms, both sides, by x minus 1, x plus 1. Okay? Times the first fraction. Minus, again, the LCD, x minus 1, x plus 1, times the second fraction. تأكدوا انه ما نخطئ. هذه الفيرست fraction، هذه second fraction equals هذه third fraction. So we multiply it by the LCD, x minus 1, x plus 1 times the third fraction, 2 over x squared minus 1, or in factored form, x minus 1, x plus 1. We simplify, we expand x times x, x squared, plus 1 times x plus x, minus here. We simplify by x plus 1. Don't forget the minus here. So minus 1, or do it in 2 times. So x minus 1 times 1, that in x minus 1 equals, here we simplify, equals 2. We remove parentheses. We change all signs, equals 2. So here it's a quadratic equation. X تروح, plus 1 equals 2. So x squared equals 1, means x is plus or minus 1, and these are candidates. So we check x equals 1. Here it's forbidden, so here we have to remove 1 and to remove minus 1. So this is extraneous solution. And x minus 1 also appears here. It's an extraneous also solution. Okay, so finally, the two candidates are not accepted. So the solution set is the empty set. Sometimes عندك اثنين، واحدة تقبلها واحدة extraneous، ممكن تقبلهم الاثنين. Okay, it depends on the example. Then again, أعيد step by step. Least common denominator. We multiply by the LCD. We simplify. We get the quadratic equation or linear equation. Here we factor, or we use the square root formula. We get the candidates, check, but here both are extraneous لأنه لازم x different from 1. So it cannot be different from 1 and equal to 1 at the same time. And x must be different from minus 1 to make our quantities defined. So here both are extraneous solution, and the solution set is the empty set.